Somewhere far out in the Pacific Ocean, where the water is black and endless, a single warning flashes red. Across a dozen glowing screens, alarms trigger simultaneously. A hypersonic anti-ship cruise missile has been detected. Its speed is already calculated. Mach 3. More than 2,300 miles per hour. That is not fast. That is unforgiving. The missile's trajectory updates in real time. No curves. No hesitation. The line points directly at one target, the USS Gerald R. Ford. Time to impact, 60 seconds. On board the ship, nearly 5,000 sailors continue their routines, unaware that a countdown has begun. Deep beneath their feet lies $13 billion of steel, nuclear power, and national authority. This ship is not just a vessel. It is sovereign American territory, floating thousands of miles from home. If that missile hits, it will not only tear through steel. It will tear through doctrine, deterrence, and decades of assumed dominance. It would be studied, replayed, dissected in war colleges across the world. But the carrier is not a solitary giant. It sits at the center of a moving fortress, a carrier strike group spread across miles of ocean. Destroyers patrol the perimeter. A guided missile cruiser tracks the sky. Somewhere unseen, submarines slide silently through the depths. Every ship, every sensor, every crew member has trained for this precise moment. This is not chaos. This is design. Deep inside the carrier, in a sealed windowless space known as the Combat Direction Center, the mood is unervingly calm. No shouting. No dramatic countdowns. Only the quiet hum of electronics and the rhythmic sweep of radar. Blue light washes over the faces of technicians sitting motionless at their stations. 50 operators. 50 screens. One threat. A single symbol races across a digital map. It is closing fast. The clock starts now. T-minus 60 seconds. The first defensive action is invisible. No missile launches. No guns rotate. Instead, the ship fights back with physics itself. Mounted high on the carrier's superstructure is a squat, gray system known as SLQ-32, often called Slick-32. To the untrained eye, it looks harmless, like an oversized air conditioning unit bolted to the ship. Inside, it is listening. It sweeps the electromagnetic spectrum relentlessly, searching for the precise radar signal guiding the incoming missile. Every weapon emits a signature. Every seeker leaves a fingerprint. And then, it finds it. Instantly, the system responds. Not with fire, but with overwhelming noise. Pure electronic chaos blasts outward, flooding the missile's radar frequency with so much interference that its sensors are drowned. Imagine driving at night when someone suddenly shines a blinding light directly into your eyes. The road disappears. Landmarks vanish. You don't know where you are going anymore. That is electronic jamming. For a brief moment, the missile is blind. Its onboard computer struggles to re-establish the target. Its flight path wobbles. At the same time, launchers fire defensive countermeasures into the air. Canisters burst open above the sea, spilling clouds of shimmering metal strips, chaff. Thousands of tiny reflectors, each cut to the exact length needed to confuse radar. To the missile, the sky is now full of ships. Dozens of bright radar returns bloom across its vision. Ghost targets appear larger than the real carrier itself. The missile must decide. If it chooses wrong, it will plunge into empty ocean at Mach speed and vanish without consequence. But modern weapons are clever. Some are stubborn. Some burn through the noise. The symbol on the screen keeps moving. 45 seconds. This is where the strike group truly comes alive. The carrier does not sacrifice itself first. That is not how naval warfare works. The defense begins far from the target. 20 miles away, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer cuts a sharp wake through the sea. Smaller than the carrier. Faster. Packed with sensors and weapons, Its sole purpose is to intercept threats before they ever reach the fleet's heart. Every radar track, every sensor input flows into a system called Aegis. Aegis is not just software. It is the neural network of the strike group. It sees farther than any individual ship. It correlates data, predicts movement, calculates probability faster than any human team ever could. The moment the missile was detected, Aegis ran the numbers. It traced the trajectory, calculated intercept windows, and chose the optimal firing platform. No commander debated the decision. No authorization delay. The computer already knew what had to be done. Deep within the destroyer's vertical launch system, a hatch blows open. Fire erupts upward as a missile ignites. The SM-6. It surges into the sky, accelerating to Mach 3.5, climbing rapidly to altitude. From 65,000 feet, it can see across hundreds of miles of ocean. This missile is not guessing. It is guided by a web of sensors, ships, aircraft, satellites, all feeding it data in real time. 30 seconds. The jamming fails. The intercept misses. The red symbol does not disappear. Now the missile is inside the inner defense ring. There is no time to reload. No second long-range shot. The carrier must defend itself. Launchers swivel upward. Hatches snap open. Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles ignite and leap from the deck. Smaller than the SM-6. Faster off the line. Built for close-range combat where reaction time matters more than range. These missiles are brutal. They execute turns that would liquefy a human pilot. 15 GS. 20 GS. Control surfaces twitch violently as onboard computers make thousands of adjustments per second. They do not explode nearby. They hit directly. Metal on metal. Speed multiplied by speed. For missiles launch within seconds, streaking upward in white arcs. The incoming threat tries to evade. It dives. It twists. But physics always collects its debt. One interceptor connects. A distant flash blooms above the horizon. Debris scatters. Most of it falls. But not all of it. One object keeps flying. 10 seconds. A leaker. Maybe a fragment. Maybe the warhead has separated by design. Whatever it is still lethal. Now the crew can see it with the naked eye. A black dot against a gray sky, growing larger every heartbeat. The final defense is already locked on. Bolted to the ship side is the phalanx close-in weapon system. Sailors call it R2-D2 because of how it looks. But nothing about it is friendly. It is fully autonomous. Humans do not aim it. Humans do not decide when it fires. The moment parameters are met, the system acts. Radar locks. Trajectory predicted. Solution calculated. The barrels spin. Then the sound arrives, a mechanical scream as 20mm tungsten rounds roar into the sky at 4,500 rounds per minute. 75 rounds every second. The weapon does not chase the missile. It predicts its future position and builds a cloud of metal there, an invisible wall. The missile hits that wall at Mach 3. Tungsten tears through it instantly. The warhead detonates early. The explosion blossoms 500 yards from the carrier, far enough to spare the hull. Debris rains into the sea. Time to impact, 0. The threat is neutralized. Smoke drifts across the deck. The phalanx dome slows, then stops. Inside the combat center, operators breathe out. No cheers. No high fives. Only quiet confirmation. Airspace clear. Radar clear. The carrier continues on course without deviation. 5,000 lives saved. The strike group intact. The mission uninterrupted. This outcome is not chance. It is the product of decades of engineering, strategy, and relentless testing. Layered defenses stacked upon layered defenses. Electronic warfare at the speed of light. Missiles reaching into the sky. Interceptors guarding the horizon. And finally a gun that reacts faster than human thought. The ocean is vast, deep, and hostile. It hides submarines, mines, torpedoes, and weapons traveling faster than sound. But the most dangerous force at sea is not the missile. It is the response. In just 60 seconds, Billions of dollars and thousands of human lives depend on machines and people working in perfect harmony. One miscalculation changes history. One failed system rewrites the future. This is modern naval warfare. If you found this breakdown intense or informative, let me know what you think in the comments. And subscribe to Beyond Navy for deep dive stories on warships, fleets, technology, and the silent power that controls the world's oceans.